Today we're heading to another Japanese car yard. Now this one sells a whole bunch of Supra'S, JZX100s, and I think even some Nissans. Obviously I know more about Nissan than Toyota, so I've been learning a lot the last few days. This place is called King Buyer. It's about an hour and a half from where I live, catching buses and trains to get there once again. And I think it's best that we just pick things up once we get there. But before we do, check it out, Ebisu spec shirts and hoodies. If you're in a country where it is supported, a Teespring thing will come up at the bottom of the videos showing you all of that stuff. I'm really happy with this. I get to walk around with a big shirt that says Ebisu spec now. Anyways, here comes my bus. So we're gonna jump on that and go from there. So we've just arrived at King Buyer and I'm pretty excited because there's a Mark II in, I guess like their showroom kind of thing in the front here. And here's the information on this one. This looks actually really clean. Hess A8. So what you guys want to do, if you want to know what year this was made, look up Hess A8, H11 in the Emperor years here in Japan, and translate it to, like, it'll be 1997 or something like that. But Hess A8 was when it was made. And let's have a look here. So it looks like it's got a fair bit of done in the engine bay. I'm just trying to look, where are the kilometers? Oh, 121,000 kilometers, and they want like 14 grand. It's got LSD, Heyman knuckles, 600 HP knuckles, upgraded injectors, HPI intercooler, TN suspension, coilovers, bunch of really good stuff. It's only $14,000 US. It's got Recaro party seats, good wheel. Yeah, that's actually really fairly priced. Okay, we're gonna go take a look around here as well. They've got another little showroom. It's one of the reps came down and I just had to quickly speak to him and make sure it was all good for me to film. Little pro tip, guys, whenever you're filming at any business in Japan, you wanna make sure that, you know, you check with them first because you don't wanna accidentally film their customers' cars. Anyways, this is another car they've got in their showroom. It's obviously a GT86. Really nice, got a Greddy turbo kit in there. See, this is the kind of like 8.6 I would own. I would definitely go for something like this. You know, it's practical, kind of a little bit of Ebisu spec going on there, so you can still park the car here in Tokyo. But overall, everything looks really, really nice. It's got some pink wheels, so you stand out. Looks like Ray Graham lights. Very nice. Now, before we go in there and look at all the JZA80 Supras that are in like the back section of their car yard, they also own this section of this car park here, which is actually really, really cool. So they have a Mark II. No, this is a Cresta actually. I'm learning. I look at the rear now. I don't just look at the front. So this is a Cresta, JZX100 Cresta. It's about $13,000, Hess A9, so it's a little bit of an older one. What are we looking at here? Kilometers unknown, tampered with. So that's another thing you gotta be careful about. It's got a GT2835 Pro Turbo upgrade though, FCON, HKS, ECU, aftermarket exhaust manifold and things like that. Really, really nice. Yeah, it's because, so the reason why, like, they can't confirm 100% what the kilometers are on this car because it was swapped, they swapped in the TRD 320 kilometer an hour cluster. So they don't know if the kilometers on there are real, so they won't advertise the kilometers. It's up to the customer to decide, kind of thing. This one here, nice white one, about 13,000 USD. Once again, looks like it's had the TRD 320 kilometer an hour cluster swapped in. It's got a HKS turbo upgrade, 5-speed manual, Hess A13, so this is a newer model one as well, which is really nice, actually. Yeah, looks like it's got a good wheel too. This one's got a really good wheel, good seat, bright as well. Man, these are actually really well priced JZX100s. These are better priced than the yard we looked at the other day at Carbot, I think it was. Hess A13, so it's much newer. It's got the TRD, HKS GT front intercooler kit, coil radiator, Defi gauges, bunch of really good stuff. Man, and it's manual. It's a front mount intercooler kit and stuff like that. That's a really good price. This one, there's no information about it because it's in negotiation right now. This one's really cool. You don't see many of these new Soras anymore. It's about 12 grand USD for this bad boy. Really nice BBS wheels on that, hey. These look so nice, hey. Like, look at the luxury in that. Imagine if you could just turn this into a drift chassis, like just rip all the leather out, sell it. Because, I mean, it looks kind of weird, I know, but it'd be a kind of cool, funky looking drift car if you had the monies to drop in it, right? And then looks like this is either a customer or an employee's car or something, because it's got plates on it, no information on there. But really nice, good wheel, nice Recaro SP3 I think it was. Pretty decent paint job. I'm trying to purposely like not show plates on cars that have plates in case they're customers. That's like one of the conditions normally when you film at people's businesses like this. And then moving over here, this is where like things get really good, because JZ80 Supra, JZ80 Supra, JZ80 Supra, JZ80 Supra, continue, MA70 Supra at that end, and a bunch of really cool Toyota GT86s. So let's start at this one. This one, it's not for sale, it's under negotiation right now. This one's an auto, JZA80 Supra, turbo. They want, yeah, okay, so Hess A8, so it's a little bit old. It's a non-turbo one, sorry, my bad. Automatic, and pretty much it's just got BBS wheels. So, yeah, and it's done 39,000 kilometers. That's cheap. If you wanted to put a turbo motor in this and build it, that's cheap. 39,000 kilometers is all it's done, and it's Hess A8. It's relatively pretty clean. So this would be a perfect car to kind of like use the shell for turning into a turbo one. That's good. That'd be a good car to turn into like a drift car, right? If you didn't want to spend a bunch of money. Then let's look at this one. So this one's $17,000. This one's non-turbo as well. Hess A8, so a little bit older than the other one we saw. It's got wheels, it's got HKS coilovers, and it's done 186,000 kilometers. Wow. So I think also just because it's also got the body kit on here as well, it kind of means it's a manual, it's not an auto. That's why it's so much more expensive with those kilometers. Interesting how having an automatic makes it so much cheaper, hey, compared to this. But this won't even have like the expensive 6-speed. This will just have the 5-speed W58 in it, the cheap wheat gearbox. Interesting how the price, like, and this is done like 4 times as many kilometers as that, yet this is more expensive. It's weird what manual transmissions do, hey. Still though, body kit's kind of nice on this, and this would be another good chassis to kind of turn into something with the turbo motor. This one's 30 grand, so you're going to think and assume that this is obviously a turbo one. It's automatic, it's turbo, it's Hess A12, so it's a lot newer than these other two we're looking at. It's only done 59,000 kilometers, and the interior in there looks immaculate, probably one of the best I've ever seen. Overall the car looks really good too. Nice wing, standard kind of body kit everywhere, standard factory wheels, brakes, all that jazz. It hasn't been too molested, so it's a really good car for you to do a manual swap in and turn it into a beast. 30 grand though, so these things are getting pricey. That's for an automatic turbo one too. And over here we got one here for about 19 grand USD, Hess A9, so a couple years older than this one. And we're looking at, so it's got some work wheels, wheel side body kit parts. Okay, yep. It's got a Viper alarm system, that's pretty much it. It's done 135,000 kilometers, non-turbo, but manual. So body kit, wheel side body kit kind of adds a pretty decent amount of value to these actually. See, wheel side there. But yeah, okay. I'm not so sure on why that's priced so high for a manual. Well, I guess if you look at that one there, that was a manual non-turbo for 17 grand. And you look at this one, that's got about 50,000 kilometers less than that. Yeah, kind of makes sense, I guess. These things have really jumped up in price to what I was expecting, I guess, now. Okay, so this one's Hess A8. They want about 21 grand USD for it. And it's got quite a fair few decent mods. It's manual, it's turbo, it's got a decent wheel, decent Sparco seat, all the good stuff, right? And what are we looking at? C-West GT kit, it's got a Viper alarm system, it's got WEDs, WEDs wheels. Okay, not a big fan of those, but still looks good. Also looks like has HKS coilovers. This is actually a non-turbo, sorry, yeah. What is wrong with me? Yeah, this is totally non-turbo. Non-turbo, but I guess it's done 131,000 Ks. Wow, non-turbo versions of these have really jumped up in price, hey? Yeah, 100% non-turbo. Not a single intercooler anywhere in sight. So, they've only got one turboed 2JZ Supra here, and it's auto. Yo, there's a Honda Beat right there. Just pulled up with the lights there, that's kind of cool. Love me a nice Honda Beat. And now it's time for my favorite car in this entire lot, this MA70 Supra. Now, this thing better be turbo and manual, otherwise I'm gonna cry. Yep, I see a manual shifter. Everything inside looks super immaculate too. Very good condition for a car that's like nearly 30 years old or whatnot. So Hess A8. So what's his name? The emperor that just moved out. He was only the emperor for 2 years when this car was made. So that's pretty decent. What are we looking at? Doesn't really have many mods. It's got BBS 17-inch wheels and HKS coilover, turbo. It's got the dreaded 7M GTE in there. But overall, the car looks really good. It's got some scratching and stuff in the paintwork here, but that wouldn't cost much. To fix the paint coat on these is pretty easy. Overall, like the car definitely needs like a bit of touch-ups, like on the body. You know, paint, clear coat coming off in places and stuff like that. But that's really standard for a car this old. Like this is a 30-year-old car for sure. But just looking at the interior there, you'd want to change that wheel and stuff like that. But otherwise, this is really nice. Rear end looks great. I'm such a huge fan of these old school rear ends. The wang game, just look at the wang game on all these Supras through here. It's kind of nice, right? Anyways, you guys want a spare Supra diff? Yeah, there's actually one R200 there from a Skyline or a Silvia, and then 2 Supra diffs there. Well, I don't really know. They could have come out of a lot of different things. Cool, so that's all the Supras kind of covered. We're going to take a look at these GT86s now. So everyone's going to probably leave the video, but trust me, you don't want to. This is pretty cool. I've never actually heard of this brand before for race brakes. It's Rundus Racing 6-pot brakes. They look pretty aggressive, nice raised wheels. This is selling for 20K, man. It's only done 79,000 kilometers. Hess A8, really new car. And we'll kind of go through these. Volk Racing wheels, 19K for this one. Hess A24, and it's got a pretty big mods list actually. Non-turbo though, or not supercharged and everything. This one pretty much just says it's got wheels and HKS coilovers. It's got some Advan TC2s. Good fan of the Advan wheels. 20K, Hess A25, newer than these ones. Got an okay mods list. TN coilovers, yeah, I mean, it's not too great. The engine bay's been kept very standard in stock. But yeah, 20 grand, 18 grand for this one. Hess A26, so this is actually newer than these, all three here. Actually, that red one there even had a carbon fiber hood. It's kind of cool. But yeah, this white one here, Hess A26, 74,000 kilometers. That did 54,000 kilometers, so that's got the lowest so far. There's 2 more Supras here. I forgot about these. That's not for sale though, and we already looked at this one, didn't we? Yeah. Cool. Well, that's pretty much everything here. There's another 286s here. Are these got for sale info in them? No, they don't. Oh, this one does. And this one's on some nice 20 grand. Hess A25. HKS coilovers, Valenti lights. Oh, Valenti lights, I think is the correct pronunciation. Yeah, it's got those nice ones. It's kind of cool. Overall, pretty standard. It's only done 29,000 kilometers as well, so really low mileage on this GT86. I mean, in all honesty, that's a pretty fair price for where I've been seeing these things going. And they do have another yard down here that we'll go check out in a second as well. I just noticed something funny here with this Mark II. See how they've been like reversing it in and out to get it in the perfect position there? And then when they've started it up to rev it, it's all sprayed all the carbon on the wall there. That's funny as. There's a really nice Gloria here next to it, assuming that's probably the person that lives in that house. And this is like another yard that they have here. It actually has a lot of Swifts. Swifts are super popular here in Japan. A lot of people get them and do rally stuff with them. So, you know, you can get something really nice and a lot of Grady turbo kits and stuff. You can buy a lot of cool things for these here in Japan. So we're looking at Hess A26, 11K. It's done 60,000 kilometers. Wheels, exhausts, engine mods, pretty basic stuff. But I think we'll just quickly go through these because they're not that interesting, like for a lot of us, I guess, like, you know, people in the rest of the world. None of these are turbo. If there was a turbo one, then I'd definitely be keen to show you that. But yo, a little Rally Art Colt. These things are fast. This is cheap. They only want like 4 grand for this. Why is it so freaking cheap? It's done only 53,000 kilometers too. Damn, that is so freaking cheap. I want to buy it. We got an Aristo here. It's obviously going to be 2JZ GTE. And this is like another car park where they park some of their cars too that are for sale. So we'll get to check those out in a sec too. That's cool. Obviously auto, you know, pretty standard. It looks stock standard for an Aristo, so you can't really, it's got endless brakes. That's kind of cool. Graham lights as well. Altezza, $4 grand for this Altezza. That's cheap, man. It's only done 40,000 kilometers too. That's so cheap. It's got a bride seat, pretty decent wheel in there as well. Nice, manual as well. 4 grand for that. That's crazy. 40,000 kilometers, damn. What's this, another one? Huh? I'm confused. What is this? Huh? It's an Altezza, right? Like, it looks the same, but it almost didn't at the same time. I gotta look at the rear of this. Yeah, okay. It's an Altezza, all right. And the double check. What do we got here? So, oh, okay, this is turbo and got a bunch of cool mods on it. All right, well, there you go. There's an RS200 apparently. TDO 4 turbo kit. Yeah, 6 grand. Yeah, cluster's been changed, so they don't know how many kilometers it's done. We got a JZA80 Supra, so these got a 1JZ non-VVTi twin turbo in them, as in the middle of negotiation right now, so there's no information about it, but cool gauges, manual, pretty decent Momo wheel, and then some more GT86s. I think we've seen enough of those. Oh, look, there's a Subaru one here. Let's quickly, I'll walk around in a little bit and we'll go look at those Supras in that car park there, because that looks kind of cool. So I just walked around to the car park, which is connected to their yard, and this is where they store some of their cars too. Really nice black JZA80 Supra. Looks like it's a 6-speed, so this one could, is it turbo? Best way to check is there an intercooler? I don't see an intercooler, so it could possibly be non-turbo. Yeah, non-turbo, looking at those brakes, but still really, really clean and nice. Which is weird though, why would it have a 6-speed shifter if it's non-turbo? It's kind of odd. Maybe they just put the turbo shifter on there, but it'll be a W58, which is 5-speed. Then over here, really nice red one with a super aggressive body kit. That Weng game, loving that. Looking good. Nice eyelids on that. It's rare to see kind of eyelids on Supra'S, eh? And then there's a JZ100, like a Hakuche Chaser. What is wrong with me? JZX100. I'm so used to saying JZ80s right now. This is in pretty decent nick. Interesting body kit, factory wheels, front, rear. Got a pretty decent wheel, decent seat, all interior looks pretty standard. Yeah, so this will be, looks like this is actually under negotiation, and it's selling for about 12 grand. Bunch of information there. 145,000 kilometers, pretty decent. All right, well, I think we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna jump back over the fence and head back to the yard, say goodbye to the guys, and we'll pick it up from there. So if any of you guys are interested in any of the cars that you've seen today, you can get in contact with King Buyer through their website. I'll put it in the description, as well as I'll geo mark this video so that you can click on it and see where it is in Google Maps if you're ever here in Japan and you want to visit the same place and talk to them. They actually do organize shipping cars and everything for their customers overseas, so you can buy cars directly through them, and they will ship it all overseas for you. But for now, that kind of wraps things up here. I hope you guys enjoyed another car tour of, you know, JDM high performance cars here in Japan. It's definitely really good to see a lot of JZ80 Supras in one place, and I don't think that the prices that I saw here today were what I was expecting the market to be at, especially for non-turbos, automatics and things like that. But it is what it is. These are a very rare car, super sought after, and there really isn't many JZ80 Supras like left in Japan, especially compared to Skylines. There's a lot more Skylines sold in Japan than Supras, especially JZ80s and the twin turbo manual ones. Anyways guys, I'll leave you with that. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Get a SAMMIT sticker for the competition. Entries close on the 10th of July. Don't miss out. Catch you later guys. Jamatane.